I love sports. And since I was 6 years old, I've tried all of them, from archery to golf to swimming to kickboxing. However, the older I got, I realized that I fell in love with a sport that many of you might not even know. It's called CrossFit. It's a high intensity sport, which what it does, it combines a variety of sports from rowing, swimming, to Olympic weightlifting, to gymnastics, and so much more. And after 4 consistent years, consistent hours dedicated day and night, I've gotten the chance to compete internationally all around the world, from France to Germany to Italy, so many other countries. It's truly been a blast. However, it wasn't until last year when I won the European CrossFit Championship. And that was an amazing feeling. I was on top of the world. It truly felt like it. But as I stood there on the podium, I noticed something odd. The attention. It wasn't on me, on the person who just won. It was somewhere else. The attention was given to another athlete. I mean, he was just another person. He barely made it into the top 100. He didn't even put half the hours, which I did, to all my effort. And the more I started to realize that that person was getting interviewed by the biggest media companies, the biggest CrossFit companies, the best coaches, and all of a sudden, all the girls were around him. What did this person have that I didn't? And most importantly, what was giving him so many more opportunities than me? What made him look like an MVP when I was the one who won the championship? Then it hit me. That person was a 10 out of 10 communicator. He was a smooth talker. He knew how to use his voice. And even though he wasn't the best, he made it look like it through his voice. It was his power as a communicator, meaning that one is only as good as one communicates. You can literally be a 10 out of 10 expert on anything, from ceramics all the way to aerospace engineering. But if your ability to communicate is a 2 out of 10, how do you think people are going to perceive you? As that 10 out of 10 expert you are, or as that 2 out of 10 expert and communicator you are? And at that point, I realized I've just been crowned the fittest CrossFitter in Europe. But somebody else was gaining my opportunities, my attention. And then that's the moment I knew I was going to make it my mission to not only become an MVP in CrossFit, but to become an MVP as a communicator. Hello, everyone. My name is Puig. I've dedicated most of my life to training my body, my muscles. And tonight, I'm here to train all of you. But I'm not here to train all of your muscles or do any workouts. No. Tonight, I'm here to train all of your voices as a communicator so that you too can become an MVP. How does that sound? Huh? Are you guys with me? Are you ready? Yeah? Come on, prove it to me. Say it with me. MVP. Come on. MVP. One more time. MVP. All right. Round of applause for yourselves, please. Great. Love the audience. Really is. You see, standing up here for some people feels something like this. Something super scary. Giving a talk about whatever you want for 15, 18 minutes. And I used to feel like that too. But now, standing up here in front of all of you feels really, really good. I can't lie to all of you. And in this talk, I'm going to give each and every one of you 3 crucial skills so that you too can become an MVP in anything. So that every time you open your mouth, anyone could see, hear, and feel the difference of being a 10 out of 10 communicator and ultimately being an MVP. Who knows? These tips might be so good that you might be the ones next year up here giving a speech at a TEDx event. Who knows? And I always like to start off with a quick little test. How many of you here have a favorite song or a song you really enjoy? Please raise your hand. Okay. Now, how many of you here have a book you really enjoy? Please raise your hand. Okay. Now, if I tasked each and every one of you to recite word for word a song or just one page in the book, which one would you choose? Think about it for a minute. A whole song or just one page in a book? The thing is, a song has roughly 280 words, but a page in a book has also roughly 280 words. So what is this key difference that's making a song so much more memorable in comparison to a book, to just one page in one book? And that's the first key point of becoming an MVP, and that is melody. See, when I'm talking about melody, I kind of mean the combination of both rhythm and tone, because melody so it makes you want to stand up, dance. It's that lovely music when we hear it, you just want to turn up the volume. And all of you guys, as future communicators, we have to think of our voices as an instrument, like a piano, for example. And the thing is, a lot of people live their whole life only playing with 12 keys on their piano. And if you ask me, it's a pretty horrible song. Just 12 keys on one piano. The thing is, your voice is a powerful tool, and you don't only have 12 keys. You have 88 of them. Think about that. The most beautiful and complex songs are always composed with a variety in melody. They don't just stick to the 12 keys. And if we, as communicators, we want to become more memorable, more impactful, we need to vary our melodies. We can do a simple thing. For example, if I just say, hey, how was your day? With different melodies, we could express completely different emotions by still using the same words. For example, hey, how's your day? Or maybe, hey, how's your day? Or maybe into, hey, how's your day? Completely different things, but the same words. And the thing is, we can talk about something super quickly and sound super passionate about it, even if I'm not saying anything. Or we could go the other way around and talk super slowly, but sound super impactful. And that's the thing about melody. If we want to become more memorable, we have to use the variety in our piano. However, there's a danger to creating these melodies. It's that many times, when somebody stays with the same melody throughout their whole speech, we start to tune out. This happens a lot with telemarketers. Once we pick up that phone and we hear the sentence, hello, this is company X, Y, and Z, I'm calling to offer you, immediately hang up, and we tend to look something more like this. We instantly recognize that melody and disregard anything that they say. It could have been the best deal of our lives, but just because we identify it and categorize it as boring, we leave it. And we, as communicators, we have to use this tool, this instrument, to not only stay in that same melody, we have to change it, because if not, people just start to disconnect. The thing is, when you start implementing these tricks, you might feel off. You might even say, I feel like I'm being fake. The thing is, these are still your keys on your piano. You're just not used to them. You've been your whole life playing with 12 keys. So use all 88 of them. And the second point to becoming an MVP is volume. And no, I'm not talking about the mathematical space of volume and how much water fits into a bathtub for X, Y, and Z. No. I'm talking about the volume of when you hear your favorite song and you just turn it up. That type of volume. However, a lot of people get confused and think that volume is only being loud. What happens if volume is only being loud? For example, I could speak in a very high volume and I could sound angry. I'm not, I'm smiling, but I definitely sounded angry. And this could ultimately impact how people perceive you. They might think arrogant and egotistical. Same thing could happen the other way around. If I'm speaking very softly, people might think that person is super shy. Even if I'm not. People might think, oh, he's a 2 out of 10 expert, when you could be the 10 out of 10 expert. But if we simply just decide to change our volume, to increase or decrease it, we could create different emotions while using the same words. You know what? Let's try it all together. Pick a partner, somebody who's next to you, someone who you know, someone who you don't know. And we're going to have partner 1 and partner 2. Partner 1 is going to be the person with shorter hair. Partner 2, the person with longer hair. And we're both going to say the same sentence. And we're going to say, hey, it's lovely to meet you. Partner 1, the one with the short hair, is going to say it in a loud volume. Partner 2 is going to say it in a soft volume. So partner 1, you're going to start off saying, hey, it's lovely to meet you, with a high volume. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's lovely to meet you. Perfect. Then we're going to have the other person with a quiet volume. Ready? 3, 2, 1. See? You hear that? You feel that? Same words, but completely different feelings. If we repeat the, hey, it's lovely to meet you, with an increase in volume, we could sound so much more charismatic, like, hey, it's lovely to meet you. And this makes us sound more charismatic and more memorable. The interesting thing is, we could do the same thing the other way around. For example, if I decrease my volume, I can make a super clear point. For example, to be a true MVP, you have to use volume. And through my 15 years here at ASB, I've realized that the teachers that grabbed the most attention of disrupting students weren't either the loudest or the quietest teachers. They were the ones that perfectly understood how to adapt to the room. They knew what volumes to use, when to use them, when to use the highs, the lows, and change it. Those teachers understood that volume also means variety. We have to vary our volume, because somebody after this talk is super shy and comes up to me, and I directly just go, hey, did you like it? That person is probably super scared of me and will never talk to me again, honestly. The thing is, if we look at what the National Library of Medicine said, we see that neuroscientists, therapists, sociologists start mimicking rates of speech, volume of people who don't want to agree or participate, and slowly, you start soft and start increasing to sound more enthusiastic and finally getting that person to agree. And we could do the same thing as communicators. Therefore, be what the room needs to be. If you have to be loud, or be soft to bring people your attention and make a point. The third key thing about being an MVP is pausing. We hear it all the time. In well-being, psychological health, pausing is one of the most important things. When you're stressed, maybe you have to look at the sunset and just take it in. Maybe you have to hug a loved one. Or maybe just take a break and just lie down. But it's a temporary stop. It's not an ending to anything. And when it comes to being an MVP communicator, it's proving that pausing is the best way to add a huge emphasis on whatever you're going to say next. You see, right there, I did a pause right before saying the key point to make all of you eager and waiting to see what I was about to say. I was building your expectations and did a small pause. We could see that the music industry does this a ton. with the huge build-up crescendo in the club, and suddenly the beat drop. We have the huge build-up, pause, and the beat drop. And we love it. We all start to dance. And the thing is, movies and TV series do this a lot. How many times do we see one of the most important things happening right now? It seems like the main character is about to be run over by a train, and suddenly, a cliffhanger. A literal cliffhanger. You feel like the most important thing was about to happen, and the voice says, tune in next week to see what's going to happen. Now that's a pause. A whole week? Waiting a whole week? That makes people eager and talk about the show. Instead of just publishing all 24 episodes and binge watching all of them, because I know all of you have done that. And in today's world of instant gratification, a quick pause is fundamental. It makes us stop. And the thing is, you could say about anything. I could increase my rates of speech, talk like if I'm about to say something super important. I could increase my body language, and suddenly, the pause. It felt like I was about to say something super important. And you could even see as if I was building to something, but I didn't. I even took my glasses off when these are completely fake. They were just to add pure credibility and just a bit of fun. The thing is, we as communicators, we can adopt the same thing. By pausing, we don't only allow our audience more time to think, but us as speakers more time to think. Therefore, if we have more time to think, we remove all our ums and our ahs and all of our vocal clutter, making us sound so much more credible. And as an MVP, I want to say one final thing. And it's that this pause just helped me remember what I was about to say next. And it's that Michelangelo, the great sculptor, he always said that one already had the abilities, that the perfect statue is already carved in there, but one just needs to improve, adapt, and enhance their abilities to truly show the beauty behind it. And I think each and every one of you has that ability. You just have to break the mold to become an MVP. Thank you very much, everyone.